Today we're taking a look at the maximum 20 volt cordless reciprocating saw. This is sold here in Canada by Canadian Tire Stores. This is a 20 volt unit. The website tells me it's part number 5110, and this is bought as a bare tool, so there are no batteries included. We're coming up on the end of August of 2025, and right now this is priced for about $130 Canadian plus tax, which I think is on the cheaper end for cordless reciprocating saws. And while we're talking about it, I bought this with my own money. I don't have any affiliate codes and nobody's paying me to make this video. I'll put the specs on screen right now from the website. You can pause the video and take a screenshot if you really want to. I think there are two important things that I want to take note of. Is number one is that this is not one of the new brushless style tools. So it's your old style, which is probably one of the reasons why the price is kind of low. And the other thing, which might be obvious from the size of the box, is that there is no carrying case of any kind included. So here is your classic unboxing. There's a box. The box is empty. We got your tool and we got your instructions, and that's about it. Now this was advertised as having like a toolless blade change, so I didn't anticipate needing anything, you know, like an Allen key. But just to confirm, that's all there is in the box. A bag, instructions, and a tool. And when I say nothing's included, I mean not even a crappy sort of starter blade for it, so you better have some Sawzall blades available. Now since there's no battery included, a purchase like this only makes sense if you've already got some other maximum tools, you know, or if you're going to buy the battery separately. I've had the 20 volt drill and driver and the saw since 2016, so for 9 years, and they've served me well, so I didn't have any problem buying another one of these tools. And bear in mind that this is a hobby shop, so I'm not banging on these things for 8 hours a day. But of course it occurs to me that 9 years is a long time in tool technology, so I'm sort of assuming that the batteries are going to be compatible. If not, this is going to be a really short video. Oh, phew. So a quick break to read the manual. So without the battery, this is about 5 pounds or 2.2 kilograms. Around the front here, this is sort of a, if you can see that, this is sort of a rubberized coating. Gives a grip here around the neck, which is good, and there's a similar rubberized coating there. Variable speed trigger is there, no big deal. Right above it is the lock, and on the other side, you sort of click these back and forth to lock and unlock. There does not appear to be a lock on, so it's only going to work when you're squeezing the trigger. So right in front of the grip here, you've got a little LED indicator. It's got 4 LEDs on it. When you give the trigger, I've put a battery in now. If you give the trigger a bit of a squeeze, you can see it lights up, and it's got 4 segments, so each segment is roughly 25%. It's not real easy to get on the camera here, but it's good to have something like that. In terms of batteries, no surprise, it's taking the maximum battery platform. I have a 4 amp hour here and a 2 amp hour from one of my other tools. Is just slide on. I have no idea if these are compatible with any other platform. I don't think so, but that's nothing new. And in terms of other controls, there's 2. One here for setting the shoe depth and one here for locking and unlocking the blade. This is just a little lever. You have to give it a firm twist to open it all the way, and the blade lock in there. You can slide your blade in, and yes, they are of course reversible, so you can put your blade one way or the other way. And in terms of the shoe, this pops like that, and then you can adjust the shoe. In fact, you can take it right out, but you can adjust the depth and then lock it back down for whatever you like. Fairly stiff to latch, but that gives it a good firm positive stop. And yeah, there's a little pivot on the bottom of the shoe, just like other ones. It's about 15 inches long, and with no battery in it, it's about 6 inches high here at the grip. Here in the middle, it's say 3.5, and then up here at the neck, say 2.25, 2.5 inches. So I really didn't need this because I already have a reciprocating saw. My dad gave me this old Makita 30 years ago, and it was probably 5 to 10 years old by then because he'd used it in his carpentry business. And built like a tank, still works, but as you can see, it has a cord attached to it, and it also needs an Allen key for changing the blade, and the shoe is a little bit beat up, so, but The cord was the main thing. The reciprocating saw I often use for trimming shrubs around the house. And so when I saw this one on what I thought was a good price and cordless and, you know, as a bonus, toolless blade change, I thought I'd give this one a go. I am kind of sad about the lack of a case, and I can't use this one because, well, I'm still keeping that old Makita. But, I mean, I am primarily a woodworker, so, you know, most of the year this is going to sit on a shelf. So I do kind of wish there was a case that came with it, and I will probably keep my eyes open to see if I can find a suitable plastic tool bag or box of some kind. But in the meantime, I have a shrub to cut down, so let's put this to use. My wife and I decided it's time for this shrub to go. It's getting overgrown, it's growing into the eaves troughs, and we just want to do something else with the garden there. So I'm first going to use the shears and take all as many branches out as I can, and then I'll be pulling out the reciprocating saw for the thicker chunks. These ratcheting shears will go through branches up to 1 inch thick without much fuss, but now we've got the reciprocating saw for the bigger stuff. I put a wood cutting blade into it, and I'm looking for pieces about 3 feet long. You really will shake the branches though, so it's going to vibrate a fair bit. I want to get the stump out of there too, but might need a longer blade for that one. That's a duller blade, so it might take. There we go. That's all gone now. I'm not going to try digging out the stump. I'm just going to let it rot. Okay, so it worked just fine on a shrub, but what about on a construction site? Because of course, you know, reciprocating saws get used for, you know, tear downs and buildings and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I don't really have a construction site on the go. So let's hack through a 2x4. This is just an old scrap of 2x4, and I put a 3-inch screw and a couple of 3-inch nails into the end of it. And I've got a brand new bimetal blade that I'm going to put in the saw. This screw extends this far in, and the nails are extending about that far in. So I'm going to hack right there to make sure I hit all 3 of them. Oh boy. That needs to be clamped better. And clearly that second clamp wasn't enough. I'm just letting this play out in real time. I'm not speeding up the footage. And so the total elapsed time is just over 16 seconds. So there's 1, 2, 3. Of course, brand new blade. Leaves a nice smooth surface. I'm going to do another cut, this time with it oriented vertically. Hopefully I have it clamped a little bit better so it doesn't shift so much. And the cut went much better this time, taking just over 9 seconds. So again, that just took, 5-10 seconds to go through a 2x4, going through 3 pieces of steel. And, a lot of that, of course, is going to depend on the fact that it's a brand new blade, but it certainly does the job. So let's try to wrap this up. Am I happy I bought this? So far, yes. It is really nice not having to deal with the cord, especially when going outside. And I'm actually surprised. I hadn't really thought of how much I would enjoy having a toolless blade change, but yeah, over the years, there's been several times when I've misplaced the Allen key for my other reciprocating saw, and that just brings everything to a halt when you're trying to change the blade. So a toolless blade change is actually a really nice feature. Now, of course, this is not a long-term review. It's an introduction and first impressions, and it works for me, and I'm glad I bought it. And that's about all there is to say. So unfortunately, I can't give you guys any coupon codes or anything because, again, this is not a sponsored review. This is just me and my shop telling you what I think about it. But that's about all there is for now, and we'll see you on the next one.